Hey, this little video is a little tips and tricks video for base outpost building in Outpost Infinity Siege. I'm putting this together because I've seen a lot of people make some mistakes early on, and I would like to help people out. So first off, one of the little tips and tricks that people don't understand is that you can actually build outside this little orange barrier, one tile outside. Actually makes your base bigger overall. This is what you're going to actually do the majority of the game. It does give you an extra ring of size to put defenses out as well. Another little trick that people don't understand is that you can actually put your tower on a higher level. Like that. What this means is you can actually put your tower up and up and up until as high as it goes on the ceiling. This is actually very useful because I tend to find I like to fill in the bottom floor with all the base boosting elements to be able to base with. Now, for what I'm going to show how that works out, but I'll do that later. But next, I want to show another little trick that a lot of people don't realize. So the side of your tower here for your base actually has connection spots. Now, one of the things that you should do early on is stack 3 batteries per connection spot. Now, you can't do the top level. This one has no connection spots. But you can do that per side, and as long as it's to the tower, it has power and connects. You can see the power has gone up to 245 from what it was. Do the next side. This allows you to stack. Now it's at 290. You get 90 power out of this. This is very useful early on when you're really hurting for power. You can also do this with small generators. You put small generators on the back side. You can only put 1 per side. That boosts your core power as your small generators. You can later on switch to put 4 generators per side all the way up. This panel you actually want to do this with later on in the game. You want to switch over to small generators when building your base. Now, another little trick a lot of people don't seem to understand is right now, even though I'm connected here, you're on the first floor or the second floor, go ahead and stick a utility wall on that panel. It doesn't overlap, doesn't take up any other additional space. What this does is, A, provide some structural support to the area that the tower does not. So the floor above it will actually get more support. Second, you can still stick your small generator to this, so you're not losing the small generator slot. Third, if you look at the utility wall at the bottom there, it says Amplify Core Level 3. It gives you 3 points of core power, which is important. So you try and get this as high as possible. Your core output affects your X boost field. The X boost field is the circle around your base, the blue circle, that gathers materials for your base automatically while you're out in a mission grabbing loot and other things. It boosts the damage of your turrets inside of it. It boosts your defenses, and it also over it's easy to read, increases the size of your storage container. So when your tower container that you use to send things back, that actually at certain breakpoints based off your core output size, you'll get another actual row of storage space there. Now right now I can't go stick a utility wall on top here because it's unpowered, and that won't count for anything. Not without stairs to that second level. So what I typically do on a brand new base, or help others with on a brand new base here, is to tell them to go near take their core tower here and go near the back. Now I'm going to try and base this off of a standard starting size. My pad's a lot bigger because it's already upgraded. Unfortunately, I can't go smaller now to demonstrate this, but I'm going to show how a standard base early on would look like. Leave it as about this size here. I'm going to go ahead and build this out real quick. Try and go fast, so you slip over here. Now, you're going to have so many armored walls, you can't make them early on, but that's fine. I'm going to put them in the front here. I'm going to stick a staircase just like that. You're going to want to have currently the non-facing on the armor wall this way. However, there's a reason for this. You may change that later, because your armored walls only have 3 connection spots on one side, which is the side that has the little black panel spots right there. So you can stick battery. I can find it on my list here. Let's make the batteries. Oh, there they are. Just like that on one side, but you can't stick it on the other side. Generic panels and windows, you can stick them on both sides. The generic panels on both sides of the top, the window one side top, one side bottom. That is very useful when you're trying to line up corners to maximize your space usage when building your base. And maximizing does make a difference here in this game. So what I typically do, that's another little trick later on. You stick things to the side. Can be interesting to build interesting layouts. That's not really functional. It's hard to power. Don't use the small stairs. Another trick that you might not have noticed, there's these little buttons on here to talk about the X-ray mode and undo. Undo is very useful. There's another one that's not listed here, which is to redo, which is Control Y. So I can place a tile, hit Control Z to remove it, last action, or Control Y to redo it. Just like most text editing. I know this isn't the prettiest of outposts, but we're here to maximize. Your usage. We'll be making a lot of tiles. As I said, you're going to want to stick mini batteries here on the sides going up for your starting build. Stick that one utility wall in the back here. Grab the small generators. When you start making them, these are things you should rush. The batteries, small generators, and the material boxes. Very important. Now, one thing we're going to do as well is we're going to stick utility walls here and here. Now, they say lack support, but we're going to fix that. These are going to have our material, our power converter. Let's fill it in. So what we are looking to actually do is make a row. Now, the sides are not going to get hit as hard in the early game, nor the back, as the front will. So you can safely pull out these corner pieces, armor panel, and stick a window piece there. Now if we look at that window piece, well, we can stick a battery, right? Yeah, if I try to put a battery on the corner in here, it would clash and wouldn't hit. Because I have this window piece here, I put a battery here, and the other battery can go on the bottom. I still get an extra battery. So I think this is the one I messed up real quick, just to demonstrate. The connection pieces there, if this had been like another armored wall or a generic panel, these would try to hit. Just rotate that. Now it's on the outside. Now with the little batteries, you're going to want to do these little 4x4 cells in here. And I'll demonstrate that. This is how it's going to work with these. You're going to take a generic panel. Doesn't matter the direction you face it. Now, you can either do this from this direction or that direction. I had tried to do the math on which way it gets more batteries. It seems to be roughly the same, so it's not that big of a deal. But I'll do it this way for now, because the stairs cut into how this works out. So I'm going to go make rows of generic panels. And fit in all the way. You're going to look to make this much early on. So notice that the utility walls now have structure since we started filling in the walls down here. Not trying to line it up right now pretty. Normally I would. What this gets us here, the ability to stick a battery all throughout like this. I get to fill in the rest of the squares like that, batteries on both sides. Now, we're going to do this with utility walls. We're going to put them at the other perpendicular direction. Doesn't really matter which way you go because you can only face one way. They're not going to hit each other. This one will because of the battery on the bottom. Now we can take small generators, connect them down here. This is going to maximize your power and your core output early on. And in each one of these, you stack up to 2 high material crates. And you're going to fill in everything here, either material crates or you just siphon. Tight spikes, if you got them, I'd make extra, as well as any other ciphers you have. Fill them in as well. They will not hit the batteries on top. They will hit the generators. So only the middle gets you 2 high, but everywhere else you can stick. You can only do 1 high in the middle here, but you can do 2 high everywhere else. This, turn this off. The next is going to be placement for your guns, initially early on. I like to leave this open so I can run up real fast. You can also stick a door there if you want to. It's not needed early on. Later on, it will be more necessary. It's not a big deal right now. And again, you're going to stick your machine guns or your 30mm turrets in the front here, as well as on top. You can put them on amp racks, but you get more without the amp racks on. The amp racks is going to add a slightly more hit points, 200 hit points to everything. I don't think it's worth losing the space for it if you can fill it in more machine gun turrets instead, or 30mm light turrets. Now, I like the machine gun turrets or 30mm light turrets like this next to a wall. This way you still have a little bit of a walkway. Your avatar character can run right behind them and load them up very easily early on because you're not going to have automatic loaders. This makes things faster and easier to do. Up here, you're going to put, like I said, a utility wall here and a utility wall there. Stick a small generator on one side as well as your power on the other. Later on, when you get a material converter, you can stick that on the other side. Make sure you stick your ammo maker where you like it. Your turrets right here. They'll be able to fire just fine. Hit everything nearby like this. The other tip is always try and stick at least 1 or 2 turrets on the backside at a minimum. There are a few maps where the base gets inserted, especially early on, backwards into relation to where the enemies should be. Why they did that, I don't know. It just is on a few places. So always stick a turret or 2 on the backside. And that's your basic beginning outpost layout, how to build it. If you fill this all in, you're going to have much higher values here. And I'll just make exploring the game much easier and nicer. Hope you learned a little bit. Thank you.